Did you do your homework? I hope so, because this week we're going to part 2 of being seriously profitable. Hi, this is Paul Potratz, and welcome to this week's Think Tank Tuesday. Well, I gave you that homework assignment last week, so I hope you're ready, because if you're not, you need to pause right here and go back to last week's video and watch it and then come back. So we're going to get seriously profitable, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to create a brand strategy, a marketing strategy that is consistent and that everything integrates. Because when we talk about marketing and advertising, we're not talking just about radio, TV, newspaper, pay-per-click ads. We're talking about everything that a customer would come in contact with your dealership. So to get started, the first thing I want you to do is develop what is your brand strategy? What is your identity to the public? If you went out and surveyed 100 people, would more than 60 or 70% of them say, hey, this dealership does blank, or this dealership stands for blank, or this dealership's commercials are like this? If they don't, then you've got your work cut out for you. So that red pen, that notebook, what I want you to do is write down my brand strategy is what. And what I mean by that as far as your logo. What color is your logo? What color do you use? What are your main colors of your dealership? Do those colors, are they also represented on your website? Are they represented in as far as in your newspaper ads, your TV ads? Are you using the colors? Are you using the font? Are you using as far as white space around the font, just like the manufacturer does? The manufacturer holds you to a very high standard. Why don't you hold your own marketing to a very high standard? If you're working with a lot of vendors, you've got to make sure that they basically get a brand standards booklet that lays down as far as how they can use your logo, when they can use your logo, what colors they can use in your logo. This is very important. Otherwise, you've got all these different messages out there and everything looks different. So you have to spend a lot more money to get your brand out there. Bring it in and concise, and people will start to really know who you are. So, okay, enough about your logo. What about as far as a branding statement? Do you have a branding statement? And I don't necessarily mean just a jingle. If you've got a jingle, that's great, but do you use the one-liner from the jingle within your own marketing? A lot of dealers have a jingle, but they don't really carry it all the way through. Are you using the jingle on your music on hold? Did you pull the one line? Is it in your email signature? Is it on your newspaper ads? Is it on everything that you do? If it's not, you've got to get there. So now that we have your brand standard and what's your identity and how you want the audience to perceive you, let's move on to the next part. Let's start out with your newspaper ad. Even if you don't do newspaper, you should watch this part and think about it. Anything that's printed needs to follow this same concept. So with your newspaper ad, do you always have as far as the dealership name at the very top? If you do, you probably need to stop doing that because people are not looking for the dealership, they are looking for the vehicle. So get the vehicle as far as the brand, or get some good copywriting on top. What's going to pull people in? Ask them a question, pose it as a question, and therefore people are going to say, oh, let me see what the question is. Let me see if I've got the right answer. So copywriting on your newspaper ad, copywriting on anything you do is critical. So with the newspaper ad, is it the same as everybody else? Does it look the same? Or are you doing something unique? So let me show you some of our newspaper ads and how they're unique. All right, so take a look as far as how we design the newspaper differently. It's not as far as how many cars can we fit on the newspaper ad, it's how do we actually merchandise the cars. So I want you to apply it the same principle. Are you stacking cars really close together on the lot? Or are you giving them the space so people can get in and get around and see the vehicles? So you see we're giving a lot of information on the vehicles here, but we're doing it in a very clean approach. Are you using QR codes in your newspaper ad? Are you allowing them to actually text for more information? And then notice the use of people. These are not mug shots. These are people at the dealership that look like they're having a lot of fun because they are having fun. So what this is doing, it's actually drawing people to the newspaper ad, because what we've seen as far as online, we can get anywhere from a 20 to 30% higher click-through rate on a banner ad if it has a person in it. So imagine the same thing for a newspaper ad. We're going to get more readership off the newspaper ad because it has a real person on it and it's not a mugshot and they're having fun. It will also build your brand loyalty as far as for the people in the dealership. Your employees are going to take ownership in your dealership marketing. So again, take a look through this ad and see how it's different than anybody else. A small tweak like this will make the phone ring more and will make people talk about your newspaper ad more. So there's your newspaper. Same applies for anything printed. Before you go, I want you to be sure and mark your calendar because there's a lot of opportunities coming up in October to learn so much more about how you can actually take your dealership to an all-new level in 2012. So take a look at the calendar here, and I hope to see you at one of these events soon.
Thanks for watching Think Tank Tuesday. Tune in next week for more tips in the world of automotive digital marketing from Potrats. To download this podcast or watch previous episodes, search for us on iTunes. To learn more, visit us at ppadv.com.